Let's see if I can get this twisted up. We got a big show today for y'all. We got a big show, everybody. We got a big show, couple different topics. We got to talk about my expert opinion. We're going to be talking about the My Expert Opinion show that actually just featured a couple legends in the game. You know what I'm saying? A couple legends in the game, Smif-N-Wessun, a couple guys who have really held it down for the East Coast. And we're going to go over that today, you guys, just how much they've held down the East Coast. You know what I mean? The relationships that they had, you know what I mean? The people that they helped along the way. We're going to go over that. But we also have a major breaking news story. Arab had reached out to another member of OBH to speak on the sentence of Skinny Me. So we're going to have to go over that today as well. You all know Skinny Me was actually sentenced. Skinny Me was actually sentenced recently to some really crazy numbers that I don't think anybody really wants to believe are going to hold up. You know what I mean? It's pretty much like when Max B got sentenced to 75 years. Nobody really wanted to believe that those numbers were ever going to hold up. And here we are, Here we are 12, 13, 14 years later, you know what I mean? Almost 15 years removed from the situation. And Max B's situation has been changed. Max B's sentence has been overturned, 75 years reduced to 20 years. So you got to realize, although this type of stuff takes time, you know, it takes patience. You hear what I'm saying, you guys? This shit actually takes patience. You got to be able to deal with it, you know? So Skinny Me's in a pretty crazy spot right now. But the fact of the matter is, everybody is going to believe in him. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to keep their thoughts and their prayers up for Skinny Me, as we have for other artists. You know what I'm saying? We all know what's going on with AR Rab right now, sentenced to an unjust 45 years in the can, in the Bing. You know what I'm saying? He's literally across the wall from Shotty. You know what I mean? I believe Shotty is in medium, Arab is in max. So that's actually the difference with their situation. But yeah, everybody hit that like button on the tune in. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. Everybody that's tapping into these videos. Definitely appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all tapping in. What is good? What is good, y'all? Rolling up this little backwood, man. Excuse me, I'm like a second time backwood roller. It's like my second time rolling a backwood, and I definitely screwed this one. What up, what up, what up, South Philly? South Philly in the building. South Philly in the building tonight. I see we got excuse me, Harlem, New York in the building. East Camden, New Jersey in the building. I'm smoking on some Fuego, some runts. But for some reason, one of my Dutches, I had a Dutch, but then I had this you know, y'all is gonna mess with me on this one. Backwood. The Backwood boys are gonna mess with me on this one. But you know, I could have sworn I had another pack of Dutches. I'm gonna have to go out after the stream. You know what I'm saying? But I just realized I messed up my backwood and I split it. Shouldn't even say that on live, but yeah. Cocoa, Florida. What up? What up? Appreciate you for tapping in from Florida. Everybody hit that like button. Everybody hit that like button, share this video. We got some shit to talk about, man. So we're going to get right to it, man. We're going to get right to it. This all started, this whole thing on Matt Hoffa's, my expert opinion. It all started when an associate of Hoffa's, Bigga blatantly told Smif-N-Wessun of Duck Down Records, he decided to say the rest of Brooklyn, right? You guys, you follow me? He decided to speak for an entire borough. He felt like you guys were traitors. And he said this to their face. Me and the rest of Brooklyn felt like you were traitors. General Steele said, General Steele wanted to address this head on. This gentleman said the Brooklyn people felt that Smif-N-Wessun was traitors. Let's address that. Let's stop being antagonists. I don't give a F about that line. So he doesn't care about the line. We're going to talk about the line. He doesn't give a F about the line. Everybody knows the whole thing that they're trying to misconstrue about what Tupac said. Everybody knows the Tupac line. He said, my fofo, make sure all your kids won't grow. It's the classic line off of Hit 'Em Up. My fofo, make sure all your kids don't grow. It's on a song called Hit 'Em Up. Yep, you might have heard of it. Huh? You might have heard of it. Anyway, he's not referring to an entire coast. He is speaking to one person named Biggie Smalls. So this is where the problem started. You're over here misquoting lyrics and you don't know what you're talking about. And we don't give a fuck how you felt in Brooklyn. We don't care. So first of all, Smif-N-Wessun, they're from where? Born and raised? Brooklyn. They're from Brooklyn. We don't care. So first of all, let me just say, Tupac, right? You guys follow me? Tupac had mad goons. He had mad shooters in New York. Why? Can someone answer me why Tupac, Mr. California Love, had mad shooters in New York? Nobody? Nobody's got the answer? Tupac was born in New York. Fun fact, he was born in the Harlem Hospital. Yup, Lassane Parish Crooks is his government name. Look it up. He wasn't born under the name Tupac Shakur. First of all, and second of all, Tupac actually mastered the 5 boroughs. Have you seen the videos when he is standing on 125th Street telling the bootleggers, take my CDs off your table? If I come back around, I'm going to knock it off the table. This is my music. Tupac mastered the 5 boroughs. New York is a small place. Whoever is somebody knows each other. Duck Down are real ones. New Jersey, outlaws, the neighboring state. It's called the tri-state area. That includes my area as well. Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Most people from here, know each other. For example, me, I know mad people from New York. Everyone who is somebody knows each other out here. And just to give you a backstory of how far Boot Camp Click and Tupac actually go, this is what Pac was telling you about Death Row East. Share this video. Share this video one time. Hit that like button. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. Salute to everybody. This is what Pac was telling you about Death Row East. The album called One Nation with a slew of Boot Camp Click features. That was actually supposed to be released on Death Row East. So these gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Up here, they're up there actually speaking on my expert opinion very passionately. They're speaking passionately about this topic, and they're speaking with that passion for a reason. Pac had nothing but love for these dudes. So for them to be called traitors, for some dude making up Pac bars, making up bars that Pac didn't even say, you know what I mean? And getting shit twisted. The Smif-N-Wessun were highly offended. They were highly offended by this. And let me just say, if it was the old Smif-N-Wessun, that interview would have went a whole different direction. Math would not have been able to piece that up. You know what I mean? Shout out to Math though for trying. You know what I mean? You know, he was like, "Yo, this is his platform. He didn't want to see it go there." But when there's touchy subjects about Pac and Big getting brought up, you know what I mean? These guys were tragically murdered years ago. People still feel passionately about this. It's a touchy subject. And saying slick comments like Tupac's death row chain was small, it could have got the teeth slapped out of your mouth, you know, if you say it in front of the wrong person. So let me get back into it. Steele said, I'm going to tell you what I felt. I felt out there. I went out there to rep my hood because I don't got no hate for Pac or Biggie. So we, the only ones, we called the special teams. Tech chimed in that it was in the middle of the East and West Coast thing. That's right. In the middle of the quote unquote East versus West beef, as Vibe called it. How come no one is beefing with Smif-N-Wessun is the question. They're in the heart of the beef. They're in the middle of the slums and nobody is beefing with them. Hey, ain't those Tupac's homies? Oh, right. Because they're the real ones. They're the real ones. Of course, no one is beefing with them. We're talking about a group that named themselves after a firearm, after a gun manufacturer. Smif-N-Wessun is a gun manufacturer, for those who don't know. You know what I mean? There were your Glock 9s, FNs in the Sig Sauers. There were Smif-N-Wessons before that. The Smif-N-Wessun was around. So the gun manufacturer actually sent a cease and desist to Duck Down Records. You can't call yourself that, because even though you spell it differently, it's causing confusion. We don't want to be associated with rappers. Rappers faced a lot of this back in the day. They bowed out. They changed their names. So they called themselves the Coco Brothers. They had to change their name. They didn't like that. They didn't like that name. So they renamed themselves Tech and Steel. You know what I mean? They went through a few name changes, but all the real ones still know them as Smif-N-Wessun. So just to give you a little background on the One Nation album and the Death Row East and why they changed their name, because you know what I mean? They don't make too many of them like that no more, you guys. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background information on Smif-N-Wessun there as we continue on with this video. Appreciate everybody tapping into the Mikey T, the Movie Star podcast today. Definitely do. Y'all are the best live audience. Make sure if you got any questions or want to add to the conversation, send in a super chat. So Steele went on. I respect what you're saying, and I know that's what they think of us. But if we don't go out there and have that Nat Turner with the black burner spirit, then we're going to get cowards, because I don't take no sides. I don't feel you right. I don't feel you're right. I ain't making no money from your food. So my thing is, this is me and my PNC. We going out there to see where I'm going. We went out there with our team, sat out there and broke bread with that man. So you said what it was like sitting with my brother, eating turkey bacon and eggs and waffles. We ain't have no chef. The bitch left 2 days after we was sitting here. like us sitting here. That's how it felt. If I ever got a chance to sit with my brother, uh, uh, so yeah, man, the man is basically at this point, he's standing right in Bigga's face. I want everyone to keep that in mind. He is standing up in the man's face at this point. You know what I mean? Clapping his hands at you. He's clapping his hands at you. Initially, Steele was sitting down, but now he's clapping his hand. You can see the look on Graf's face from New York as well. He actually rocked with Black Hand Chaz. You can see the look on his face that this whole thing is just going left. After he claps his hands, he stands up to address Bigga, and he's pointing his hand in his face. Steele said, I can tell you what Pac was saying when we was sitting in that living room trying to get the laser disc to play. He didn't even want to play the laser disc. We can't play the laser disc, which means what? Which means what? We ain't got the iPhones. We ain't get on our phones. We can't watch the Instagram. What do we got to do? He was basically just kind of, I think he was referencing time back then to time now. You know what I mean? Back in the day, if you wouldn't be able to get a disc to play compared to this day and age, if you wouldn't be able to get your phone to work. That's what I was taking the comparison to be, which is a pretty true comparison, if you ask me. Because this day and age, if you don't have your phone, you know what I mean? This day and age, if you don't have your phone, you're not going to be able to get to a production. You're not going to be able to get to beat. You're not going to be able to call somebody in order to get an engineer in your studio if we're just talking in terms of making music. So moving on, he's just saying this in all honesty to tell you that they go back so far. Smif-N-Wessun and Pac go back so far that the man didn't even know how to play a certain type of CD. They go back that far. Do you understand? Like, think about this for a second. They didn't know how to operate an iPod. They don't know how to play a laser disc. Can we put this in our PlayStation? Think about how far they go back, you guys. He's saying, I go back to Kool-Aid packets with this guy. We drank Capri Sun together. What are you talking about, traitor? He is saying that to show you he couldn't have been more loyal to Tupac and vice versa, y'all. That shit is extremely weak to me. That it would ever be brought up as these guys as traitors. Nobody brought the beef to Smif-N-Wessun. Steele went on. I miss when dudes ain't have nothing to do. I'm going to tell you what it was like sitting with Pac. I met his mother. I met his auntie. I met his cousin. The Outlaws wasn't around, and I don't know if he did that on purpose, because when the bros camp was there was time when we would leave and we would go. What we doing? Boot camp, and we would start cooking. Then Pac would walk through the door. He would be on the floor hitting it. Pac in this, oh shit, this is what y'all doing? Pac would walk in and be like, oh shit, this is what y'all doing? Drop, boom, in the white suit. That's how Pac was. That's all I'm saying. This is General Steele. I don't know this dude, but we going in the same mother. We just got a bad deal. And because of this capitalism, we are going at each other's throats. I walked down Pacific and I heard dudes go good for him. I wanted to spin on them. After Pac dies, he's saying he heard people say good for him. I wanted to spin on them, but I understand because he keeps running his mouth. And I want to ask y'all in here, what other rappers do you know that does push-ups in a business suit, a white business suit at that? He's painting a picture right here. That's what Steele's doing. They're chefing it up. They're doing push-ups. Pac walked in from an award show or something and joins them, and they get right to it. There's nothing realer than that, you guys. There's nothing realer than that. You know, Steele would still not co-sign the whole that my fofo make sure all your kids won't grow was triggered towards every single New Yorker. He would not talk about that whatsoever. Bigga said, F you and the celebrity if you're wrong. Just to put that in context, it's like, even if a celebrity is wrong, we're not just going to agree with a celebrity even when they're wrong. We're not just going to agree to agree. So I'm putting that in context. context. He was not just saying F you and the celebrity to steal. I didn't have the opportunity to get around Pac, is what Math Hoffa, one of his co-hosts, Bigga, said. I didn't have the opportunity to get around Pac. I believe he was a good brother. I believe that was a righteous brother. So Bigga really has good feelings about Tupac. He said, don't get it twisted. He also said, but I do believe he should have been checked. Absolutely. You don't ever make a whole coast you was born at in Harlem Hospital. So Bigga actually knows the information as well. Steele said, I do not co-sign. Going up to the camera, I do not co-sign, even after being locked in a handshake with this man. Math Hoffa chimed in. The media sold that. Who's the media? Who's the media, you guys? What's Math Hoffa talking about? Vibe magazine. First of all, and second of all, you just said F my celebrity, and he should have been checked for that. And you have your hands in my face. Not a good look, because now my brother, who is standing behind me, he feels some type of way. And he's about to start getting out of pocket. And I'm about to get into that next, man, because Tech was ready to step up. Tech had heard enough. Tech said, don't do that shit. Not neither one of them. For you to act like that, he said, not neither one of them are here alive. For you to act like that when I'm telling you I'm around them. For you, for what you just reacted to, what you just heard, that's me and my brother. You wasn't there. I held guns on my waist to hold Pac down. Big picked me up every day. I don't give a F what you feel or how old you are, how big you are. All that shit you said is being disrespectful. Mass said, chill. Tech said, I was there. You're being disrespectful. Math said to his own co-host, Big, you wildin'. You got to watch your mouth. Tech says, I was there. He can't tell me shit. I was there. Math said, yo, we shutting it down. We shutting it down. The basic conclusion, they were like, screw this dude. Math shut it down, and the look on Grass' face said it all. And now eventually, to summarize and recap, eventually Math ironed out these issues. They squashed it in a few days, and the guy Bigga actually apologized to Tech. The guy Bigga doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's making it seem like something isn't even. You know what I mean? Something it isn't even. Even Math Hoffa was saying, no, he didn't say that. The dude he was pointing at changed his mind as well. He didn't want to agree with Bigga. Bigga is wrong. No, Pac didn't say that. Leave me out of this. No, I didn't say that. Chill. He didn't want no big dude. Bigga was pointing at didn't want no parts of the conversation because he knew Bigga was wrong. That wasn't, the lyrics. Pull up the lyrics. Don't lie. You know what I mean? People have a problem with liars. Say what it is. Don't say what you thought and how you felt, because obviously they didn't give a fuck what you thought or how you felt. They were in the middle of Brooklyn on Utica Avenue. You know what I mean? You literally could have addressed him. They were listening to the talk. Oh, Tupac got shot. Good. All that talk. So why didn't you say something then, Bigga? Math Hoffa was telling him, like, Bigga, you wild. What's wrong with you? They're about to fight you. These dudes are going to beat you up. Nobody in this room agrees with you. Stop trying to point him out. He didn't hear the lyric. He's like, nah. Not one person in the room agreed with Bigga. So why? You know what I mean? Duck Down is traitors? Why? They're from the East Coast. They're supposed to ride with Biggie. Why? Why? Because he sold crack in Bed-Stuy? There was dudes in the Bronx throwing up the West Side. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Only dudes in Brooklyn were like Bed-Stuy, do or die. Pac had the Bronx. Pac had Staten Island. Queens was kind of mixed. It was like Big and Pac, but I don't know what y'all talking about. You know what I mean? A lot of the outer boroughs, they really fucked with Pac. Oh, they said you're talking about all in New York, all the kids in New York. Man, that is some Hassan Campbell shit. That's some stuff that Hassan Campbell would say. Math Hoffa doesn't need Bigga to do that on his channel. He's embarrassed. Math actually looked embarrassed. Did you see his face? Did you see Graf's face? They're like, why am I here? You know what I mean? He had that scrunched up face, like he was looking at the camera like, this is this for real? Cut this interview. Oh, here's another blown interview. Thanks, Bigga. Just like the Tony Yayo interview. No wonder I had to fire Heineken and, you know what I mean? And the other guy. And why do I have these guys on my platform? Math is just regretting these things in his head, but he can't say it on camera, obviously. But look at his face, and it says it all. He didn't want to say that. You know what I mean? Bigga, should have knew that the media was selling that shit. You know what I mean? When Tupac was beefing with Big, he said it, you know what I mean? He said it himself. He honestly said the shit himself. Biggie is not gangsta. Who are the most gangsta dudes in NYC is what Pac said. Looked for, I should say. Smif-N-Wessun came to mind. Damn. I'm gonna have to go get some Dutches after the stream. This backwood doesn't want to agree with me, you guys. Backwood shit. Let's be real, you guys. You guys want me on here? If you guys want some fake shit, go watch somebody else. I'm gonna be real. And I got a memory of this shit. Everybody else wants to talk about Lil Durk and shit. They ain't even met Lil Durk. I met Lil Durk. All these other bloggers, they never even met Lil Durk, shook his hand, did an interview with him, spent a fucking hour with him. You know what I'm saying? Got his phone number, none of that bullshit. When Tupac was beefing with Big, he said it. He said to himself, Biggie is not gangsta. Who are some more gangsta dudes than Biggie in NYC? Smif-N-Wessun came to mind. The Jeeps rolling by, they were playing Biggie, of course. But the next one was playing Bucktown, home of the original gun clappers. Who the fuck are these guys? What is that, a jazz sample? That the horns on the hook? Yeah, I heard Biggie before. But who are these guys? Who is this? Who is this is what everyone wanted to know. But Tupac, he already knew, you guys. You want to know who else Pac knew about that was more gangsta than Biggie? Huh? Wu-Tang Clan from Staten Island. Huh? Ghostface Killer called Big out. Ghostface Killer called Big out about Nas's album cover. That's when Ghost said it on the Purple tape. Bad boy biting Nas's album cover. Wait, the Purple tape, the one that was actually purple. They paid money to get this tape purple. You know what I mean? Purple like the Frank Lucas bags. Ghost said it. You remember the legendary skit. If you know, you know. If not, go listen to the Yellow tape. No disrespect to Uncle Murda and Mano's tape. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Tupac linked with some of the hardest dudes in New York, and he had beef with Biggie. You know what I mean? And that's why he's going to go link with the hardest dudes in New York. You know what I mean? That's why he's going to link with people like that. You know what I'm saying? Going to link with people who are more tuned in than Biggie. People who actually hold weight in NYC. Not just the one dude who sold some crack on one block. No disrespect. But I feel Pac like won the beef. He played chess the whole situation. Big, who shot ya? Was it a diss? No, it wasn't a diss. It was recorded before. Diddy leaked it. Hit him up was obvious. You know what I mean? Hit him up was completely and obviously a diss. Mobb Deep felt that they had to release Drop a Gem. You know what I mean? On him because Biggie wasn't saying anything. Mob was feeling like Pac made the city look soft. They said this beef doesn't really involve us, but let's make Drop a Gem. That's where the whole Pac and Mobb Deep beef started. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time, you guys. So now that I've gotten through that, man, Math has one of the most amazing platforms. He is well on his way to getting 1 million subscribers. You know what I'm saying? He's well on his way to getting 1 million subscribers. Much love, much love to Math Hoffa for everything he's doing. And now we're going to get on to the second news of the day. We're going to get on to the second news of the day. And everybody, I want to let you know I got Little Johnny's album posted up. If anybody wants to check that out, y'all should go and stream that on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. Little Johnny's new album, Arab's artist Little Johnny. And there should be some major breaking news coming from Little Johnny. But Johnny actually sent me a message. Little Johnny actually sent me a message that, oh, damn, see, these backwoods are annoying as hell. That's why I'm about to go get a Dutchie after the stream, unless I got some in my whip. But anyways, so Little Johnny has been in conversation with Ab since one of Little Johnny's closest friends, Skinny Me. They actually have unreleased music together. You know what I mean? They actually have a bunch of music together on the internet as well. That was, I believe, Skinny was featured on Little Johnny's second single. So, and we all know, so Ab said at one point in an interview that people in prison live off hope, meaning that they feel fulfillment. They feel fulfillment when their friends in the outside world are successful. A pure example of that is Gilly and Wallow. You know what I mean? While Wallow was locked up, although he jokes around about it, Gilly was attaining different levels of success from working with people like Lil Wayne, working with people like Tamba Ali, getting deals with Vin Rames, even bringing Vin Rames to the jail to meet Wallow. Another situation would have to be Max B. You know what I mean? Max B in French Montana. I actually had a conversation with Max B. I had a conversation with Max B about that. You know what I mean? And we spoke about French Montana. French Montana ended up putting that on his album. If anybody doesn't know, I'm actually featured on the intro of French Montana's debut album. Once in a while, my interview with Max B. So Max B is a shining example of that as well. You know, the way that he has still remained relevant as French Montana has succeeded. French even put him on a record with The Weeknd. You know what I mean? Outside of putting him on skits, French Montana actually put Max B on a song with The Weeknd. So Arab actually reached out to Little Johnny. He reached out to Little Johnny after Skinny Me's sentence. And he said, bro, you ain't got to thank me. If you want to show your appreciation, just win. Go all the way to the top, bro. Dudes like me and Skinny are living through you, bro. You've got to do it for the men. You got to do it for the sturdy. This is a message that Arab sent to Little Johnny. Y'all should know Little Johnny. He's one of Arab's major artists on OBH. A lot of great artists on OBH. Little Johnny was definitely one of the artists that had a lot of visuals, also had a really dope flow, in my opinion, and a really interesting bunch of interesting characteristics. And it was dope how they paired Little Johnny up with Skinny Me for a couple records, how well they took to each other on the tracks. So if you guys want to go check out Little Johnny's album, it's posted above. But I want everybody to look at this message here that Arab sent out. You know what I mean? Now that Arab knows the verdict of what happened with Skinny Me, getting life plus 25 years, 25 to 50 years based on a conspiracy charge. You know what I mean? Arab and the rest of the guys locked up are really looking to a little Johnny right now to take this music venture to the next level. This is little Johnny's opportunity. If you don't know about little Johnny, he's actually from Ohio, and he's actually doing a lot of work in LA right now. If you don't know about him, I assure you he's a dope, talented artist, and I want y'all to click the link that I got pinned up so you can go take a look at some of his material. I think he was a really great signing when it came to OBH. The story was that little Johnny actually was hitting Arab about a feature. Little Johnny went into his DM and he actually saw that Arab was already following him and already sent, he saw Arab was following him. He sent Arab a message about doing a feature. Arab saw the message and was like, yo, just come to Philly and let's work. Because Arab had started hearing about his buzz. But Arab has sent this message to little Johnny. I'll read it once more. He said, bro, you ain't got to thank me. If you want to show your appreciation, just win. Go all the way to the top, bro. Go all the way to the top, bro. Dudes like me and Skinny are living through you, bro. You got to do it for the men. You got to do it for the sturdy. You hear these words from AR Rab. He's putting a lot of faith. He's putting a lot of trust into little Johnny from OBH. And I assure you, there are some crazy, crazy news stories coming up about little Johnny in the near future as far as the organization and the label that he's going to be a part of. There's a lot of news coming in on little Johnny, so I need everybody to support, because OBH is not over. It's not over by a long shot, you guys. I had spoke with Ab about creating some different things like books, read, you know what I'm saying? Different things like that, different things along those lines. You know what I'm saying? We're still waiting on getting that deal. We're waiting on that podcast deal. The AR Rab and Mikey T, the movie star podcast. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what we call it. Maybe one man in, one man out, one guy in jail, one guy out of jail. That's the idea I was kind of running by AR Rab. Nobody lose faith. And, Skinny Me actually addressed what was going on. He did an interview with Philly Fame, and he actually addressed all these speculations. Everybody share this video one time. He addressed all the speculations about Arab talking crazy about him on the internet. And he said they ain't bring nothing up with Arab when he was in court, when he was going through his trial where he's actually sentenced to life. He said, I see exactly what's going on. Ab isn't the reason for nothing. Listen to this, you guys. Skinny Me said, Arab is promoting me being a violent person. We have a web series, and I can show all the clips of our web series that didn't come out when me and Arab are actually going to war with each other in this web series called The City Is Ours. And we are having broad daylight. My whole joint when Ab is speaking violent about me, he is only making my web series characters come alive. That's what people don't understand. We was shooting a big ass web series. We have multiple clips. We have clips people never seen, Skinny said. When Ab spoke violently about me, when Ab spoke violently about anybody, it was just him bringing the web series characters alive. Y'all taking it the way you're taking it, thinking Ab is talking about real life shit. He's making this shit so anticipated that y'all are buying into the little Johnny character, the Skinny Me character. The whole time we got y'all fooled. We was about to drop a whole web series where it's violent. So what we got to do is build the anticipation. We talk. We build the Skinny character. We build the Ab character. That's all it was. It was never him talking about real life events. You know, Skinny spoke on the conspiracy charge that I mentioned earlier, the life plus 25 to 50 years, the conspiracy charge. Huh. Skinny said, ain't nobody identify me on this case. A person with a license to carry, a guard at a market said the shooter was 180 pounds. He said he jumped in the car by himself. That's the point. 2 points right there. 2 points right there that I think are key. The weight, the distinction of weight. What did Ab say? Skinny Me was a buck 30. He said he was a buck 30 a Terra. You know what I mean? So what is dude talking about 180 pounds? There's a clear difference between 130 pounds and 180 pounds. It's 50 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So he also said that he jumped in the car by himself. The description he gave of the shooter was 5 minutes to 8 minutes after the murder happened. Why I get 20 to 40 years for a conspiracy when he said the shooter hopped in the car alone. And that's the point right there. Then there is no need to charge him with conspiracy. You did the drill and you drove the whip. Conspiracy to what? You put in the work by yourself. You did it. You know what I mean? Therefore, your charges would read differently on paper. So, again, why is the word conspiracy on my paper? Let's see if the judicial system has an answer for us. Let's see. But I don't think they're going to have answers for us. I think it's going to be a bunch of runaround, especially in Skinny's case. You know what I mean? And you're going to have excuses. You're going to have hearsay. A lot of the not solid evidence and the holes in the case is a lot of the, oh, let's play a video from this guy. A lot of Zoom interviews from weirdos who are not even in the courtroom. I have a feeling that's what they're doing. That's what we're going to do. They're going to give the runaround, and then they're going to make Skinny Me, Arab, anybody that's fighting for their freedom, they're going to make them run through 15 lawyers. They say, hey, he will burn through all of his funds. Skinny said, I ain't 180 pounds. You understand what I'm saying? The star witness says the shooter was wearing a black hoodie and the hood was on his head, and he don't call the shooter by name. If you say you've never seen him before a day in your life, how was you able to pick me out of a photo lineup? Let me scrap that. He didn't even sign my picture, is what Skinny's saying. If he signed a statement, why would he be scared to sign a picture? He didn't even sign the picture. And guys, I want to ask y'all, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious, right? If you've watched any Skinny Me video, any interview, shit, if you've seen his image on top of one of his songs that you've listened to, what is the most identifiable feature on Skinny Me? Whether he is wearing a hoodie or not. Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess? The man has face tattoos. You can spot him. It ain't no, I think, it ain't no this, that. You can spot him. Not a lot of people have face tattoos. 99.8% of the population do not have face tats. They might have a neck tat like French Montana, but they're not going to have a cross on their forehead, and they're not going to have face tats. It's not a common thing. So if you see him, you're going to remember. And he is saying it confidently. They're going to remember the face tats. You saw him? You're saying it pretty confidently. Why aren't you mentioning the face tats? He had face tats. It's obvious, obviously Skinny Me. He had face tats. You're not saying that, though. Then it wasn't Skinny. You're going to have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And you know what? The whole story sounds iffy to me. And why not? Like he said, he gave the statement. He signed his name to the paper. What did the 12 tap the picture? 12 tap the picture? Is that what they did? Huh? Is that the 12 tap the picture and give you the head nod? Was it one of them things? like the first 48? Was it one of them things? So I'm really glad that little Johnny got a message from AR Rab. Because right now, a lot of the OBH fans, need to hear something. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the OBH fans out there, I know y'all tuned in right now. You need to hear something from AR Rab. So I wanted to bring it to you. Salute to my guy, little Johnny. He actually has a project out. I have it linked in the description if you're watching this video on demand, and I have it actually pinned up if you're watching right now. Go support little Johnny because AR Rab had this, and everybody in here, share this video one time. Everybody in here, share this video one time. Let's not bullshit. Let's get the message out. AR Rab hit little Johnny. He said, bro, you ain't got to thank me. If you want to show your appreciation, just win. Go all the way to the top, bro. Dudes like me, Ab said this to little Johnny, OBH artist, whose music is pinned in the chat if you want to support. Bro, you ain't got to thank me, AR Rab said to little Johnny. If you want to show your appreciation, just win. Go all the way to the top, bro. Dudes like me, Skinny, are living through you, bro. You got to do it for the men. You got to do it for the sturdy. That's the message that AR Rab gave to little Johnny. Now, we're all in a really messed up situation right now after the sentence of Ab, you know what I'm saying, 45 years. After the sentence of Skinny, life, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm here today, to let you know that AR Rab does have faith in one of the artists on the outside while they continue to fight for their freedom. And we all have to rally around little Johnny. We all have to rally around all the OBH members that are doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold any grudges when it comes to helping the musicians, the artists that rock with OBH. I'm just letting the world know that right now. Y'all know it. Y'all know I rock with OBH. Y'all know I rock with Gilly the Kid. Y'all know I never stop rocking with the people that hold me down. I'm one of the realists when it comes to this YouTube shit. You're not going to see me pick up and leave one day when something happens. You know, it was a major situation that occurred when the OBH indictment happened. And I'll just be real about it. The whole thing was kind of overshadowed by what happened with 6ix9ine and Treyway, you know, because they were a little bit further when it came to the music industry. Ab was major in the industry. And a lot of people know to this day that if he was still out, that it would have been a whole nother story at this point in time. Hell, at one point in time, Dark Low was being scouted for Griselda. So just imagine who was scouting AR Rab, you guys. And that's right. None of these other bloggers are going to be able to tell you that Dark Low was being scouted by Griselda because none of these other bloggers are outside like that. They're not traveling up to Buffalo. They're not traveling anywhere to do things. They're not traveling to all these different places and doing things, man. And I don't plan on stopping, you guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't plan on stopping, man. We got some of the realest shit on the internet, and I plan on making a whole lot more files. You know what I'm saying? I plan on making a whole lot more files. I plan on making a whole lot more of an impact.
Lil Duck on rock with Mikey T, the movie star. You already know you're rocking, man. 300.
You already know how we rocking, man. You already know how we rocking, man. You already know how we rocking with the realest content on the internet. So stay tuned on this channel for all new podcasts. That's right. Signed a couple new podcast deals, you guys. We're going to be bringing more podcasts to the channel. That's right. More news updates, just like I did today on Little Johnny and AR Rab and Skinny Me. Also, I had to go over my expert opinion show, Math Hoffa show. Great show right there. Things are just getting a little hectic with Bigga on the show. It seemed like he messed up everything with Tony Yayo. And now bringing up Smif-N-Wessun being looked at as traitors, I feel like that's a little bit much, you guys. But I definitely appreciate everybody tapping in. I want everybody watching this to follow me on social media. That's right. Everybody watching this, I want you to follow me on social media. Whoever follows me right now, I'm telling you what, guys, whoever follows me right now is going to get the immediate follow back on social media. No, don't delete. Don't delete, but I need to get to my page. Let me get to my page so I can. Cool. Is that going to work? All right, cool. We Gucci. So I got my page right here. That's right. I'm back on it. Whoever wants to follow, if you follow me right now, I'm going to follow y'all back. Why follow me on Instagram? So you can stay up to date with all the news that I'm going to be presenting. You know what I mean? You'll know beforehand. You'll know beforehand if you follow me on Instagram. You heard? You will know beforehand if you follow me on Instagram when I'm going live, what topics I'm going to be going live on. But I will tap in with y'all on the next episode. And if you're watching this on demand, hit the follow in the description.